Well, firstly, just want to say thank you so much for all the comments on my video yesterday. I've been quite blown away by the response, to be honest. So, I was talking a lot about advertising and how changing your mindset and stuff can help you grow your business, and that it's good to look at things from a different way. So, I thought today I would follow up with it and just I've got something big in the pipeline to help you with your advertising and everything like that, which I will be talking about later this week. But in the meantime, I thought I'd just give you some free tips on. I've got one of the most important things in advertising is headlines, and the quality of your headline can make a huge difference to anything you do. One of the first things you should look at if one of your adverts in any capacity is failing is the headline. There's a quote: 5 times more people read the headline than the rest of the advert. So when you've written your headline, that is, the saying is that your headline is you've spent 80 cents out of your dollar. So making it right is so important. And personally, if I write an article and it takes me half an hour to write, I will then spend another half an hour writing just the headline, and I will go through loads of different variables and trying to get it right. And I do that for all my blogs, emails, everything like that. Anything where you want to get someone's attention and get them to take an action, you need to make sure that headline is bang on. So the first thing to do is to give it the attention it deserves. And usually a good rule is, however long it takes you to write the advert, article, whatever it is, spend that same amount of time again just on the headline. So the next thing I thought I would talk to you about is give you some ideas on what you can do with headlines, different styles of headlines. So there are 4 headlines that I've just jotted down that I think are really good for people starting out and trying to write effective sales copy. So the first one is the how-to headline. Now, it's been said that if you start your headline with the words how to, it's almost impossible to write a bad headline. You see them everywhere, so it will be how to lose weight in 30 days, or how to do this, how to do that, how to transform your kitchen, how to transform your home, something like that. Start it with how to. The formula is usually how to do something and then in a time frame, and then add without something like that on. So it would be how to lose weight, add the time frame in 30 days without cutting out carbs or something like that. So your headline then becomes how to lose weight in 30 days without cutting out carbs. Then you've got a headline that intrigues people. So it could be, in a decorating point of view, if you're doing kitchens, it could be how to transform your kitchen in 3 days at a fraction of the cost, or without the cost of replacing, or something like that. That sort of headline is a great formula to get you started. And essentially, if you start a headline how to, it's difficult to write a bad one. So start there. The next really good headline is a list. So list headlines, you've all seen them. 7 reasons to do this, 9 reasons to do that. I use it all the time if you look through my blogs, and I always use odd numbers, 10 being the only exception. But typically odd numbers, for some reason, just get more attention than even numbers. So always go 3, 5, 7, 9 reasons, whatever. Don't do 8 reasons for this or 16 reasons for that. And you can do it as many as you want, and often the more the better. The other day I did 107 Facebook headlines, which is another tip. Always try and write out as many headlines as you can. And literally, I will tell people, sometimes if it's really important, try and write 100 headlines, and then whittle that down to 20, and then whittle it down again. And then you can, only when you've written 100 headlines will you find one that's real gold. The next type of headline you can use is called the story headline. Now, these are a bit more difficult to pull off, and it plays on emotions and things like that. So the most famous story headline was in a newspaper, and it went like this. It went, they laughed when I sat down at the piano, but when I started to play, and that's the headline. And it's great because it invokes emotion, so you feel, what it's like to be laughed at when you sit down at the piano, and then you've got that beautiful feeling of proving them wrong by actually being good at playing. So that is probably the most famous story headline ever written, and it was selling music lessons on how to play the piano, so it worked really well. The last one that I think is really good, is the problem headline. And this works really well for all adverts because it leads into a nice structure. So the problem headline would start something like, do you need a reliable decorator, or has your husband bodged this up? Do you need a decorator to come and fix it? That sort of thing. Start with do you have damp issues? Start with a problem as your headline, and you want to make it so that you're looking to have a problem that your audience can identify with. So any sort of problem that you solve, start with that, and that leads you into a four-part structure which works really well. So you start with the problem, you then agitate that problem, make it worse, explain why it's really, really bad. So start with the problem, agitate it, then you propose the solution, and then you future pace, which is a corporate way of showing them what the world might look like once they've solved that problem. So you can start with the problem. Are you embarrassed of your kitchen? Is it and then you agitate it by saying, is it tired and old? Do you not use the room as much as you should because it's just not what you wish it could be? And then you go propose the solution. The solution would be, we can repaint your kitchen instead of replacing it. It saves you so much money. And then you go in finally with the future pace, show them what it'd be like, and you go, imagine what your kitchen would be like hosting parties for your friends and everything like that, and how wonderful it would be to get that space back in your home. So you go problem, start with the problem, agitate that problem, solve it, and then show them, make them imagine what it would be like once they've solved that problem. So that's your four types of headlines that I hope will get you started. How to, list headlines, story headlines, and problem headlines. Something bigger coming in the next couple of days. I hope this helps. Cheers, guys.